portion.
Whatever we got on our minds, get rid of it, think football. One thing, 60 minutes. Everybody ready?
McMahon back to throw, pitches the right side. He's got it. The fight down. 20-0. Chicago Bears.
Super Bears, Super Bowl. Super Bears, Super Bowl.
The Bears took their first step towards a title by crushing the New York Giants, the same team they had beaten to win a championship in 1963.
This is not the end of the road. I mean, there's work to be done. There's miles to go. That's the way the poem goes. We've got a little way to go yet.
And I tell you, it's going to get better. Well, like I said, the best is yet to come. It really is.
The best was still to come, but it would have been hard convincing the Giants, who fell to Chicago in frozen Soldier Field. They discovered that these bad news Bears could be bad weather Bears as well. The Giants started off quickly, moving 45 yards on their first 4 plays of this NFC Divisional playoff game. But when the Bears forced and recovered number 26 Rob Carpenter's fumble, this promising drive ended up in the deep freeze. The first period saw the Giants continue to walk through a winter blunderland, and when Sean Landeta kicked a minus 5-yard punt, number 23 Sean Gale returned it for a touchdown. Landeta would later claim that his shank was caused by a gust of wind, but another look at the play suggests that the punter may have been unnerved by the heavily stacked left side of the Chicago rush. Unnerved enough to drop the ball low and nose down toward his instep. While Gale recorded the shortest punt return for a touchdown in NFL playoff history, Phil Simms suffered through one of the longest afternoons in postseason annals. Simms was sacked 6 times, and his principal nemesis was number 95 Richard Dent, who registered 3.5 of those sacks. Chicago's front line stunted often, and when Dent ran a loop, Carl Nelson, number 63, could not get over to block Dent quickly enough to prevent the sack. The Bears were in Simms' face the entire game as the Giants failed to make a first down in 9 of their first 11 possessions. It took a while for Mike Ditka's offense to get on track too, but in the second half, the Bears were able to salve New York's defense and extend their 7-0 halftime lead. Chicago's offensive line of Covert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, and Van Horn showed intimidating New York defenders such as Lawrence Taylor, number 56, that when push comes to shove, they could be pretty intimidating too. Jim McMahon was never sacked in the contest, and although he completed only 4 passes over the final 2 periods, a pair of them accounted for touchdowns, both by Dennis McKinnon. Knowing Simms now had no choice but to pass constantly, Chicago blitzed frequently. Here, number 50 Mike Singletary recorded an easy sack. The Giants were simply not equal to the task of thwarting these blitzes, as number 30 Tony Galbraith's missed block on Gary Fencing, number 45, demonstrated. Defense Chicago style helped earn the victory. Now the Bears were approaching the gun lap in the race to Super Bowl 20. Their last hurdle, the Los Angeles Rams.